Hi everyone! Here are some tips and tricks to being successful in AP Bio for the upcoming school year. So I just finished AP Bio and I took it as a junior in high school, and I used some of these tricks to be successful not only on the exam but also in the class, and to also just gain a very good understanding of college level introductory biology. And the biggest thing that helped me succeed in the class was having a previously strong foundation in biology. So, freshman year of high school, I took honors biology, and in this class, I was able to learn concepts like protein synthesis, biochemistry, DNA replication, and these concepts stayed with me up until AP biology. And that's when I was able to use my previous knowledge to allow me to not have to study as much for the class and for the test and the exam, just because I had a really good understanding of the concepts already. And so having a strong foundation will definitely save you hours and hours of studying, because AP Bio is definitely a strong class. It's definitely information heavy. If you don't know the information well, you're going to spend a lot of time reading over these MCQ questions because it's just so conceptual. So you really need to understand the concept really, really well. And so that's why I like to emphasize having a strong foundation in these biological concepts before you enter AP Bio. And you'll definitely see this when you do Unit 1, which is biochemistry. If you remember all of your macromolecules, if you remember all of your properties of water, then when you take your Unit 1 test, when you start learning these Unit 1 concepts, you can recall from the past when you learned all of these already, and it's not as difficult to understand. Another tip that I have is to really just take notes and pay attention in class. So I was super lucky to have an amazing biology teacher that provided us with detailed notes, but also gave us great analogies and relating these biological concepts to their everyday uses and connecting these concepts to how they actually impact us. Like, I remember learning about biochemistry, my teacher would connect properties of water to their uses in real life. And when you get to the exam, when you take the AP Bio exam, you'll see so many examples of these questions in your test, and you can recall from all of the information you learned in class and connect them to the MCQ questions that you'll get on test. So that's why I like to say that you need to really pay attention in class, and you need to really hear all of these examples that your teacher is going to give you. Because if you remember these examples, if you engrave them in your mind, if you write them down, then you'll definitely succeed in your class, on your exam, on all of your tests. And if you end up taking bio in the future, it sets aside a really great foundation for you. Something I did to succeed in AP Bio was I would rewrite my notes that my teacher provided us with. So like I said before, my teacher provided us with detailed notes, but what I would do is I would go through the slideshows and I would write down all the information that wasn't on the slideshow. And these would specifically be examples relating these biological concepts to processes, to examples in our everyday lives. And in doing so, we're able to form connections from concepts to their effects in the real world. And if you're able to do this, if you're able to make the connection, then when you take tests, when you take exams, you'll be able to understand the concepts well, and you'll also be able to make the connections to find the right answers and to determine what the question's even asking you. Another way to be successful is by teaching others. In order to gain a stronger foundation for yourself, and in order to understand concepts even better, you need to be able to teach others. If you sit down with some friends and some classmates and you teach them these processes, especially when you get to like Unit 2 or Unit 3 or 4, which is cellular respiration and photosynthesis, if you can explain these processes to your friends, then that means you're gaining a better understanding, and you're also just helping others understand as well. And so I like to emphasize tutoring or just teaching, just sitting down, having study sessions where you can communicate with others, collaborate with them, and to gain a better understanding yourself. Because hearing questions from other people can help you understand what you still need work on. If someone asks you a question and you don't know the answer, well, that's going to tell you that you need to learn. You need to know what the answer is, because what if they ask you this question on a test? So hearing these questions from other people and being able to give them the correct responses can really help you gain a better understanding of the hard topics in AP Bio. To help you on MCQs, you really need to understand what type of graphs you're going to be using. So in AP Bio, you can use bar graphs, you can use line plots, but you really need to understand when to use these types of graphs. If you use the wrong type of graph, if you don't label it, if you don't put the right key, if you don't put a title, then you can get points taken off of your graph. And graphs are typically the easiest points to get on an AP Bio test, on an AP Bio exam. If your school is like my school, our FRQs were part of our summative grades, which was 70% of our grade. And so if you want to do well on these FRQs, which is 50% of the AP Bio exam, then you really need to understand when to use graphs and how to use them. Going along with graphs, you really need to understand how to break down a diagram. When you get to AP Bio, diagrams are much different compared to Honors Bio. The test makers aren't trying to trick you. Your teacher isn't trying to trick you. They're trying to see how well you understand concepts. And if you're able to differentiate different types of diagrams and understand different types of processes from looking at diagrams, then they know that you understand the concept well. So here are some resources that I used to be successful in AP Bio. I used AP Bio Penguins through Mrs. Jones. I used the organic chemistry tutor. I used Professor Dave. And I don't know if I watched many videos, but the Amoeba Sisters is really good. That's what I used in Honors Bio. And as for like websites and online resources, I used the website that my teacher provided me with. It was like my school's own AP Bio website, so that was definitely really useful. And also a big thing to understanding and getting used to AP Bio level questions and College Board questions is by doing the practice MCQs that are assigned on AP Classroom. So definitely do all of those progress checks, do all of those tests and AP Bio type questions to prepare you for the exam, because it's definitely going to be like a bunch of charts. It's going to be like information heavy, and so just being able to analyze it will definitely help you succeed. So yeah. So I hope everyone has a great year in AP Bio. I wish everyone the best, and if you ever need any help in certain units or certain topics, please let me know, and I can make a video breaking down the concept specifically, or you can always request me through Science Honor Society so that I can tutor you. So just let me know. Okay, bye!